Hello, hello, hello. So we're back into Mailer Lite. In last week's video, I showed you how to create a form for people to join your newsletter or to download a guide. The result is the same. Once they fill out the form, they are added to your email list. This is what we want. This is the best way for you to nurture prospects and make sure that they get all the information and special offers and anything that may help them get to know you and make a decision when they're ready as to whether they want to work with you. Even if it takes a year, when they first signed up for a newsletter, people may not be ready to buy. It's not the right moment. They're busy, they're tired, they don't have the money. But if they keep receiving your emails, they're going to remember you, which is really important. They are used to receiving your newsletters every week, every couple of weeks, every month. And 1 year from now, when they have the money, everything aligns for them to use a designer, then they're going to remember you. They're not going to be doing another search looking for a million designers. They might, but they will remember you and think, oh, I've been receiving her emails for a year and it's such great content. She really feels professional and she has so much knowledge. And this is why you share free knowledge, free value, is because people will see you as an expert in your field. And when they're ready to buy, they will think of you immediately. So the form, you can watch last week's video if you don't remember or you haven't watched it. Then now we're going to create an automation. What is an automation? The form is where people are going to fill out their name and their emails to join your newsletter and get something in return, right? So whether it's a newsletter or they filled out a form because they want a free guide that you've created, the next step is that they need to be receiving what they're looking for, what they're expecting, right? So if you created a free guide, they filled out the form to receive the free guide, you're not going to manually yourself send this guide via email to everyone who's interested in the free guide, because that will be a really big waste of time. And as you grow, you're not going to have time to do that. And people want the guide now. They don't want to be waiting for 2 days because you're too busy right now or you're on vacation. So you're going to create an automation. Basically, you're sending people, so people who have completed a specific form. Let's go back to the forms. This is the test we created last week. You can watch last week's video. Let's say they filled out a form to receive an outsourcing checklist. This is the overview. You see what the form looks like. So they put their names, their emails, company, whatever. They want to download it now. What you want is an automation that is connecting this form to something else. So what they should be receiving. So what we need to create an automation is a form and at least one email. So you have to have those two elements to create an automation. So if we go to the automation tab, those are all the automations that I've created. Okay, you have the overview of how many people have downloaded, how many have opened, everything else. The activities, the emails of the people, so I'm not going to show you, it's people's emails who have subscribed, the history, and this is the performance, how many have opened, and so on. This is what the workflow looks like. So you have to decide on a trigger. When subscriber completes a form, which is called the outsourcing checklist download, the form that I just showed you now, it's going to trigger sending this email called 3 steps download. And once the email has been sent, it's going to move whoever is in that list into a group that is called New Leads Welcome. And if you've watched my video, I was explaining that I don't want to start sending emails to people, like random emails. I want them to go through a welcome sequence, which is a sequence of 3 to 4 emails, introducing myself and my company, maybe the services, and then you move them into another group, which is the group where they're going to be receiving emails that you send every week, every 2 weeks, every month. So there's kind of a sequence. You need to be thinking about this a little bit before you create it. So take a piece of paper and just think about what makes sense. Where do you want to take people? What is the journey that you want them to have with you? Okay, so now that you've seen this, I'm going to go back to the menu and I'm going to create a new automation. So you can use a template, simple welcome email. You can read all of this. It depends what you do. If you do online courses, it's going to be different as well. Advanced welcome sequence, birthday wishes, So there's a lot of different things that you can do. So I just want to create a simple welcome sequence. Select the template. Okay, perfect. The trigger: when subscriber join groups or when subscriber completes a form, this is what I want. Outsourcing checklist download. Okay. I don't want to allow the subscribers to repeat the workflow. I want them to only be once where they are now, which is receiving that email with the download for that outsourcing checklist. And then I want them to move on to something else. I don't want them to be able to repeat that workflow. So trigger is set. Then you're going to click on this email and you're going to start changing tests outsourcing checklist. You're going to be able to choose the subject of the email. So download your checklist now. It's from me. This is the email. And then for the email content, we're going to design the email. So I have a few templates here because I always use the same template for my newsletters. But since I'm showing you how to create everything from scratch, let's go to all templates and you're just going to choose something simple that feels right. So there's a lot of different things, or you can start from scratch. You're going to choose the editor that you want. I want this one because I want more design flexibility and options. Okay, continue. It's very user-friendly. What you're going to see is that they have a logo. They're suggesting to put the logo. You can just choose an image, replace image, and then you can choose an image from Mailer Lite that you've uploaded before, or you can choose my device. So you can change the logo. I don't necessarily want this. I don't want a menu. I want to keep everything simple. And you can have the image or not. If you don't want it, you can just like untick this one. Okay, the button, do you need it for this? You probably don't, but it's good that you see you have the option. So you could just say here, you can just change everything. Here's your checklist. You can change the font, the text, you can change everything about it. Format, so you can choose it. Okay, this is better. And then you're going to say, so glad you're interested in the outsourcing checklist. Here's the link. When you have the link, what I do with my freebies is that I upload them onto Google Drive, and I'm going to share a link. So you create share. So you press share, and then you're going to say view only. So people can view it and they can download it, but they cannot edit anything. And then you're going to add this link. So you could either select a word or even a sentence. You're going to click on this, which is the link. You're going to insert link, which is the link of your Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever you have your lead magnet, your freebie, your free guide on. And what I like is that it opens in a new tab. And you can change the text, which is the text I wrote here. Or you can just say, here's the link, and then copy paste. I just think that using that link tool makes it look much more professional. This is something that you set up in the settings. So Mailer Lite is going to always put this. It's a requirement. It's going to say who it's from and the address and everything. You can choose whether you want social links. I don't have X, Facebook. I actually don't want anything. And at the end, you could just say, if you want more information about our services, you can go to our website. And then you can just say, enjoy, and your name, Chris. And that's it. And then they will automatically be moved to a different group. So make sure you save everything. Everything saved, you can preview. You can even send yourself an email to see what it's going to look like when people receive it. Very simple. Of course, you're going to have to do a little bit of work to make it your own, make it look like your brand. And this is what it looks like on mobile. So once you have your email, you're going to say done editing. And it's going to show you the automation again. So this is what the automation looks like. So when they subscribe to a form, they're going to receive an email, this one. And then you want to add one of these. For me, I think it's the action, define the action. When you created your form, it would ask you what group you want them to be in. It's the name says it all. It's the outsourcing checklist. We've done it here. It's the same name for the form and for the group, so it's easy. You cannot miss it. And you want to move it from the outsourcing checklist to the new leads welcome sequence, because then they're going to receive the welcome sequence. And the same thing when I create my automation for the welcome sequence, it would say when subscriber joins the new leads welcome sequence, then they start receiving one email, 2 emails, and you can even decide that you want a delay of 3 days between emails. So here, 3 days, which means that they receive 1 email and 3 days later they receive another email, and then 3 days later they receive another email. Depending on how many emails you have in your welcome sequence, that's the number of emails they're going to receive. And at the bottom, it's the exact same thing. Define action. You want them to move from the welcome sequence onto the newsletter group, because then they're going to start receiving all your emails once they've completed that welcome sequence. This is how you create an automation. And as you saw, I have many of them. It will help you nurture people. You want to make sure that they follow a journey when they fill out a form with you, that first of all, they get what they asked for, and then that they get the information that might be relevant, might be useful for them to make a decision as to whether they want to work with you in the future or not. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.